Hello, bro. How are you?
Good, how are you, man?
How's it going? What brings you here today?
I'm here to protest today.
Tell us a little bit about what the protest is all about.
Well, the protest here is essentially about opposing what is the celebration of Australia's colonisation and not the landing of the first fleet, but the establishment of the colony in New South Wales.
Hello, sir.
Yes, mate.
How are you? This shirt might get you in trouble today.
I don't give a damn. I'm proud to be Australian, and I hope you are, and everyone out there is. But you know,
I am. I want to know, like, what's you said you don't give a damn. What's it about?
where are you originally? Where's your ancestors from? Where are you were born? Where were you?
Born in India, but it would be the part of India that was Pakistan.
So you and I are countrymen. Forget where we were born or where our heritage are. We're countrymen because we're Australian. That's what we want for all immigrants who come here.
Yes.
You know, so I'm just proud. I'm a proud Englishman, but I've lived here 50 years, and I'm a proud Australian.
Hello. Hi, good. What brings you here? We're just filming to try and see everyone's opinion.
Right, yeah, I'm here for the protest and taking some photos as well.
Are you here supporting the protest?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's never been ceded. Indigenous land. I think everything they've been saying about having the rehab centres on country when addiction's a massive issue they're facing, but they're not getting solutions that they're actually pushing for.
Okay, so there's just not enough action happening from a government point of view to help the Indigenous.
Yeah, or even there is action, but it's not what they're actually asking for. When you hear what they're saying and what they're actually getting, it's totally different thing. Yeah.
And yourself personally, like what? Of course, you get some sort of emotion, something that you feel yourself. You're not Indigenous?
I'm not Indigenous, no.
So what brings you that, like, what's the word? Like you get that the urge to be and support the cause?
Yeah, it's just hearing the things they've been saying about, Indigenous children dying in custody, and it's like, even not looking at the race, that's fucked up, like everything that's happening. It's above race when you look at, these Indigenous people, how they're treated. Even when you just see people walking around shaking their heads in like Australia flag t-shirts and stuff, and it's like, how can you hear them say stuff like this and just be like, oh, they're ruining my holiday kind of thing,
I don't care where you're from, if you're an Indigenous, First Nations, whatever they're called, they're Australian. They're my countrymen. I hate all this divisiveness, and I think it's politically driven, and it really is wrong.
Okay, interesting. You think politically driven, that it's getting people to be divided, and the Indigenous and the non-Indigenous?
Yes.
Tell me why.
Well, I just think that the political bent, that the path that we've gone down the last few years, it's in their DNA. It's a world, they don't like you being nationalistic. It's a world order type thing. Now, I know that sounds a bit redneck, but it's my personal belief. They don't want anything that you and I would be friends. If you're slightly tinted and I'm not, they want to divide us. And I think it's this globalist thing. And
what's the benefit in that, sir?
Well,
I don't disagree with you.
Power for a few. Big power for a few. You have a look at all the sort of ultra left-wing countries in the world. The people have ultimate power. In democracies, they don't have ultimate power. In Stalinistic countries, they have ultimate power. And if socialism worked, I would back it. If, handouts for everybody, it doesn't work.
Wouldn't.
It doesn't work. So that's just my opinion, and I'm sort of proud to be Australian.
Hello, how's it going?
Hi.
Hi, we're just filming to see what people's thoughts are about the day.
What's your deal? Yeah.
We've got our own social media channel.
What's its deal? Yeah.
What's its deal?
What are you about? Yeah.
No, we're a Perth-based channel. We talk to people in Perth, and today's an important day to be here.
Yeah.
So we just want to know what people are feeling.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. Well, today is a day that celebrates genocide. That's what we're here to oppose. We think that. Yeah, it's not a day to celebrate at all. I don't think Australia should be celebrated at all, actually.
Australia shouldn't be celebrated?
Not at all. It was founded on genocide of Indigenous people. And the ongoing dispossession of land and oppression of Indigenous people in prisons, like deaths in police custody, torture in prisons of children, driving them to suicide, happens that's the kind of system that Australia is every day.
Hello, how are you? You got time to chat?
No.
Hello, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
What are you up to?
Walking around.
What's your thoughts on the whole day?
Not really any thoughts, to be honest. Yeah.
That's interesting in itself.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't really have too much to say, to be honest.
Do you feel anything?
Not really, no. It's just a day, I guess.
Just a public holiday, which is good.
Yeah.
And that's all there is to it.
Yeah, I don't really have too much comment on it about it, to be honest.
You don't like Australia as a country at all?
No, not at all.
You live here?
Yeah. But I think it's a racist country. It's a racist state.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, as a migrant, I'm really happy I'm here.
Okay.
But I feel like that's very interesting for me to hear that someone that lives here actually does not like the country.
Yeah, well, I think Australia is really racist against migrants as well. I think you see liberal politicians whipping up anti-migrant hysteria all the time, and it's like, yeah, all the time.
So why does it affect you so strongly?
Well, because I'm against racism, against oppression.
Have you experienced racism?
Well, no, but that doesn't mean that I can't be against it.
No, I'm not saying you shouldn't. You should. But I'm just saying, how does it fire you up so much?
Well, because it's fucked. Why wouldn't I be against it?
Would you consider moving elsewhere?
No, because I think we should fight racism. I think we should fight oppression and inequality. Yeah.
Just playing devil's advocate here, if you hate the country or don't like it, there are countries where there won't be racism.
No, there's not.
There's no countries without racism.
Well, no, because racism is caused by capitalism. Yeah, and we have to overthrow capitalism to get rid of it, to get rid of racism.
And what, start a socialist society?
Yeah, we got to overthrow capitalism. Yeah. Anyway, I'm busy, so
I'm fascinated. I really want to dive deep into this because that's such an interesting point of view.
Yeah. I mean, I can kind of tell that you're just trying to waste my time, actually, and I've got stuff to do. So.
Not at all. Not at all wasting your time. Your opinions will probably be mirrored by other people. I hope, or challenged by other people. Yeah. Do you want the opinion to be challenged?
I'm actually not really interested.
Okay.
I'm actually not here to. Yeah. I'm here to.
Flyer?
Yeah.
Okay. Take care. See ya. Because obviously something has brought you out here that you feel strongly enough about, so that is enough for me, right?
Yeah, of course.
That's what I want to know. Deep down, you must have a feeling that's got you to come out here.
Yeah. Well, I guess probably one of the main reasons I'm here is probably due to the Royal Commission into Deaths in Custody, and the report that was released after that happened, and sort of the failure to adopt a lot of the recommendations that were put forward in that report.
Can you give me a quick summary? What happened with this report?
Of course. So I guess one of the main ones is the duty of care in the Justice Department. We actually don't have duty of care for Indigenous people in custody, and we've seen 4 deaths in custody since October. So.
Right, so the Indigenous folk that are in custody, there's been deaths and there's nothing that's happened to...
And we still have, watch houses being established, up in Queensland. We still have Banksia Hill established here in WA. And, there aren't proper measures taken to actually, prevent these deaths in custodies, and a lot of the time they're paved over and ignored.
Do you think that's racially motivated? Is that what you think?
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, yes. And how it's been institutionalised and carries forward in our current, systems of justice and policing and everything like that.
Right, so that's very interesting, because the colonization has caused us to just have this systemic processes or policies in place that's now causing a lot of this to be okay.
Yeah, essentially. And it continues forth. I mean, in a lot of the way we sort of see ourselves as settlers within this country, I mean, even in terms of the exploitation of minerals, we see that as sort of our innate right to exploit. And we sort of ignore the fact that that is Aboriginal land, and they still have an ongoing connection to that.
Right. What needs to change?
Hello,
fellas. How are you?
Yeah, good.
How's it going?
How you going, bro?
Very good.
Shorts,
Yeah, he's gonna be on shorts.
What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Want to see what people are thinking right now.
Oh, no, nothing. We just come from Geraldton, yeah. Come to spend Australia Day here.
We call it Australia Day, we call it Invasion Day.
Invasion Day to us, but it's all good.
What's wrong about it? Tell me, what do you feel?
So I feel they invaded our country, and we get no rights or nothing. To us, we think we get treated different than other people, than the other race,
Everyone else gets a different card, and the Indigenous get played a different card.
Yeah, I reckon, yep.
And that's since forever, since this country was taken over.
Yeah, since it was taken over, I reckon, yeah.
Can you give me an example? Because I'm not Indigenous. I'm coming as a migrant, and I think Australia is an amazing country. And then I hear from all my Indigenous friends that they feel completely different. What's an example of where you feel like you've been treated differently?
Treated differently in all sorts, in the system. We're put in jail for longer than other people, other races, for the same crime. We do the same crime, we get longer, we get treated different. Even when we get pulled up, it's not one march. Big mob one will come up to us, we're going to do something.
How do you overcome that? It must be so difficult if you feel like you're going to be treated different in every situation.
Yeah, we just hold our heads high and stay proud and do what we need to do. Like most of us try to achieve our goals in life and prove them wrong. That's it.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Prove everyone wrong, and then eventually they have to respect everything about you as a person.
That's right, because we're not all the same. We've all been brought up in hard lives and that there, but we're not all the same. We can change. We just got to show it.
What's your name?
My name's Clayton.
Clayton, it has been a pleasure, my friend. You're a good man, and keep proving them wrong.
Yeah, no worries, bro.
Keep proving them wrong. Take care, Clayton. See ya. Talk to me. What's happening right now?
The Invasion Day, this is the Invasion Day rally, and basically an invasion, under false pretenses they claim this land, British sovereignty, terra nullius, etc. And there hasn't been much change whatsoever in terms of the status quo and the power structures.
So explain that. You think there hasn't been much change since then, since the colonization happened, since they took over the land?
No, absolutely. I mean, you look at the deaths in custody, nor has there been the ratification and legislation of the UN DRIP. So that's the framework that should have been used in terms of this so-called voice to Parliament.
Again, I am not Indigenous myself, so I can't sympathise directly, but I can see that there's so many disadvantages that they've had experience of for so many years.
Absolutely.
My question is, how do we celebrate Australia? Like, I came here as a migrant with my family, and I fucking love this place. Like, I could not imagine living anywhere else. And this entire time, I thought this was the day we were celebrating Australia, until you realise what the day actually is. But do a lot of people know that?
I think not a lot of people know that. I talk to a lot of people and they don't know, this was the actual day it was colonized and stuff like that. And it's just, you talk to a lot of people and you go, why are we celebrating today, on this day, that represents such horrific things that happen? And when a lot of people hear that, they sort of start to go, oh, well, and you can see it kind of changing in their head. But I don't think Australia, we can really celebrate the country as a whole while stuff like this happening, because even if we just shift the day to celebrate another day, it's like, yeah, we can all celebrate, but this is still going on just because we're celebrating on a different day, But also, when you look around, you see a lot of people here who, you can't really tell backgrounds fully, but they're not Indigenous. You see a lot of stark white people that are still here and they're cheering and they're ready to go.
Well, there's a lot of migrants. I can see, like a lot of brown skin people, a lot of white people, a lot of Indigenous. There's a variety of people. And that's what's interesting to me, that people have gone out of their way on a public holiday where you got a day off, you don't have to work, and they're here to support what the Indigenous have gone through, which is cool.
Exactly, and the Palestine flags as well, the way you see it's just, it's good to see how many people are coming together, even though they're separate, but they're related issues, the way that everyone's like agreeing, this is not right, we need to do something about this, we need to take a stand about this, even though personally I've never been, really racially profiled or anything like that, but I think the way they're being treated is fucked up, everything that's happening, and you see, I'm sure a lot of people here agree with me, the way that they just...
What needs to change? Not that I'm putting you on the spot saying, give me the answer. It's a very big question, but I'm wondering, like, what could make it easier? Like, how do we even take one step towards it?
The first step is listening, and the first step is rocking up and listening to what the elders and the organisers of these protests have to say, and sort of acting upon what they're calling upon the community to do.
And yourself, you feel like this is just something so bad done to just other humans that it's sparking that like fury inside of you to make some sort of difference?
I guess so, yeah. I study history, so a big reason why I'm here is sort of this is an important recognition of our colonial and settler history, and I think it's sort of an obligation for me to be here and to listen.
It's amazing. What's your name?
I'm Gabriel.
Gabriel?
Yeah, that's
Gabriel, one last question. So should we still celebrate Australia itself?
Well, if we look at Australia Day, that's in terms of how it celebrates Australia by marginalising and displacing sort of the Indigenous narrative of their Australia. And
But do you think most people are celebrating it for that reason? Most people just go, dude, we have an awesome country, we're an awesome place, we have barbecue, look at some fireworks. I don't know a lot of people know that history.
Yeah, well, I think in order to actually to do that, whether or not you're conscious of it, you have to some extent displace that overall historical narrative of colonization. So whether or not these people are making a conscious effort to celebrate and party and go out and celebrate Australia Day, whether we like it or not, that's sort of done at the expense of the suffering of Aboriginal people.
You're a legend, Gabriel. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
man.
Take care.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
here in Western Australia, in the southwest particularly, it's very difficult for Noongar people to even get a job. In the cities, we don't have employment agreements with these big construction companies and mining companies and whatnot.
Really?
And we don't have, we're not receiving royalties or anything of that such nature. So, in terms of addressing the dispossession and inequality in Australia, you know, these things are very serious issues, and homelessness is a serious issue.
And what? Sorry, not to cut you off. Before I lose my train of thought, is what about the celebration of being here in Australia? Generally, that is a better life for most people now. I'm not ignoring all the negatives and all the things that are disadvantages for the Indigenous people, but life generally in Australia is better than anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, but unfortunately that's at the expense of Indigenous people, because there's a conspiracy that's going on. It's people connected to the military complex, deriving their wealth at the expense of Indigenous people, and this has always been the case.
The expense because it's the Indigenous land.
Yeah, well, it stems from terra nullius, the White Australia policy, native title, where people are supposed to stay in their own countries, etc. There's no freedom for Aboriginal people.
It's eroding all of Aboriginals, the Indigenous people's rights, and the others are benefiting from it, is what you're saying.
Well, absolutely. I mean, these people that come into the country have to make their allegiance to the Crown. So
I say to my Australian mates that you don't appreciate what you got. I come from a really working class part of London. It was a tough area, right? I come to Australia in the early 70s, and it was like a dawn. It was so different. I thought I was quite privileged being in England, in London, but
yes.
Coming here to Perth, I just couldn't believe it. It was like, beautiful.
It is like a Narnia. You come here, amazing resources, amazing.
And the thing is, it could be that way for everybody. It's not that way just because we've, any colour, creed, anything. If you want to get your bum off the seat and do something in Australia, you can still be part of it. Yes. But if you just want to hate everybody and hate everything, you're never going to. You hate yourself. I mean, I don't understand.
I completely agree with you. And if you're always thinking of the negative.
Every country's got some bad parts of history. That's it. I mean, there's a poem, right? We got the Normans, the Romans, the Anglo-Saxons, the Vikings. Who can I be a victim for? Everyone's had a poke at the bombs,
yes,
right? So I don't feel victim at all. So just hate takes up too much time.
I agree.
Don't have any hate. If I was in the trenches with you, an Aboriginal, a Greek man, they're Australian, they're my countrymen.
That is very well put, sir. I was going to give you like a homie handshake, but that's it. Hello, sir. How you been?
Good, brother. We one mob. And if you want reconciliation, well, start coming in our law, because we have key elements in our law. Sustainability, environmentalists. We're the ones who are going to help save everyone by protecting our tribal lands. The colony is just destroying. When you last seen me, was doing the interview about the 60,000-year-old Murrujuga rock art.
Yes, a lot of people loved that conversation.
I'm with Disrupt Bar Pub. If anyone wants to join in and help, it's not about petitioning. It's about non-direct violent action. Non-direct violent action is going to do something. We need to get off our butts and protect this tribal lands, because our Mother Earth is screaming out for help, as I would have said before.
So like what we're doing today, is this non-direct violent action?
No. This is a day of mourning for my people and our tribes all over this tribal land. It's a day of mourning. Our elders, everyone, it's just, it hurts our people when the colony wants to celebrate. It's not a day of celebration. It's a day of mourning.
And then do we celebrate Australia, Desmond?
No, we do not celebrate Australia, because Australia does not exist. It's just a false, fictitious narrative system that is set up. They never got permission from our people to set up a colony here, which, like Palestine, we are here with forced occupation.
Well put.
No worries.
Thank you, sir.
You have a good time. How you been?
I've been great. It's always a pleasure to see you. Ma'am, are you Australian?
Yes, I am.
What are your thoughts?
That it was always their land.
Okay. So you feel strongly that it's invasion?
It was definitely. It was always their land first before it was ours.
Yes.